I mean, again, the appraisal is for your lender. So it's your lender's appraisal telling you what they feel the house is worth. And they're going to lend you money on the terms that they want, which would, more than likely be 20% down on the lesser of the appraised value or the purchase price. So you can try to fight it, give them comps to try to do it. But I wouldn't be so worried about, oh my gosh, the house is worth, we overpaid for it $40,000. I don't look at it that way. I mean, because some appraisers just look differently. Usually a realtor should prepare that appraiser. I mean, if there's any question on value, they need to give them comps or show them how they got to that point. I mean, we're doing it on the lake all the time because the lake prices, really fluctuate. And it's not necessarily always the house. It might be the land that it's sitting on that all of a sudden that's worth 200,000 more because obviously our lake shore is flatter and the other one that looks bigger and like a better house. And so you have to help the appraisers along, and they're only doing what they're supposed to be doing and how they're supposed to be doing it with the bank. So there's a lot of ways in which to be able to get around that and fight.
Yeah. And I also, as a listing agent, I tell you this is the hardest thing for us because we go out and meet a client for the first time. We're trying to impress them, have them hire us, and give them the news of what their house is really worth. And honest real estate agents will tell you what your house is really worth. And I think the problem we have is that a lot of agents will not tell you what your house is really worth. They'll let you list it for what you want. So when your house comes in under $30,000 on an appraisal, that means your real estate agent probably didn't do a good job of coaching you on values per se, or there's a lot of good comparables in that area, assuming that the appraisal is accurate or whatever. But the other thing is that, with FHA, like for buyers there, they're allowed out the FHA escape clause that they have. FHA appraisals are good for up to, I believe it's 6 months. So even if you have an appraisal done on the property, you say, you know what, we're going to reject your financing. Your appraisal came in low. We're going to reject your offer now. We're going to let you out of this, right? And you let them go. That appraisal is still stuck there. So if another buyer comes in using FHA financing, they're going to use that same appraisal. So FHA is a problem. Conventional, I've had pushback before where we've actually told people to go to a different lender that's actually going to work with us instead of having a lender that's fighting us and just saying, well, it is what it is. Good luck, guys. And so we've had that as well. And I'm sure you too, Chris, have had that where we as a listing agent say, we need a new representative here from a bank that will take accountability for the customization, the pools, the views, the whatever it is that can help us get that higher appraisal so the deal can happen.
Well, I think that's really important from an agent perspective. Is what we do is you got to have contingencies in place, and then how do you work with them? I've got a lender that also works with a bank, and that they will allow seller holdbacks and stuff like that as well. And so it's like, hey, if we can't get that appraisal to work, but hey, it is what it's worth, and the buyer wants to buy it, the seller's not going to take less for it. Maybe the seller will finance that extra $40,000 for them and hold on to it. And so you got a problem. Now we got to deal with it. How do we deal with it? First thing is you want to go after that appraisal and see if you can get that changed. But then you got to start looking at other alternatives too. So
well, that's the same thing, Chris. As a listing, I keep going to the listing agent side because I do more of that. That's why I'll favor an offer that has 30% down versus an offer that has 4% or 3%.
Why?
You know what I mean?
Why?
Well, because when the appraisal comes in low, they're not going to care. They're still going to close the deal. The thing still happens.
Sometimes there's no appraisal.
Right, yeah, and that too. Yeah. The waiver.
Yep. So yep. But that's, and that is where, I hate to say it, but that's where the experience comes into play. And someone who's done it multiple times, had it happen to them multiple times. And I think that's the thing that's good is that, hey, we've had all these crappy things happen to us, and now we don't want them to happen anymore. And so we're able to protect them. That's what I sell all the time. It's a lot of, anyone can sell a house. It's being able to, when the problem arises, how is it going to be handled? And, and after the fact, how are you going to handle that? So,
yep, facts. I like it. I think that it's, but every working row, like the old rowing the boat in the same direction, right? So we get what we want to get it to close and to be successful. And so,
yep, win-win. Electric vehicles.
Oh, chargers? No, yep. They expect you to bike out there.
That's a nature lake now.
Yeah, we're gonna outlaw boating on that lake, and
that's why Andy's putting a tent on there with an outhouse. He's going green.
Only organic picnics are allowed on that point, and no, you know what? Out on that point, I'm sure at some point in time, electric vehicles. I think a lot of people assume that that's for free, and what's interesting is that it's not. So even the guys, Chris, you can attest to this. Sometimes you get the free charge, whatever, with your package you bought, but most people don't. Most people have to pay to charge their cars. So, and if it's a fast charge or a rapid charge, you pay even more. So, like, if there's an opportunity to make money by charging cars, I'm sure they will.